This is a video for the X5C-1, the upgraded version of the X5C. I think that's pretty much the only thing you're going to find to purchase anymore anyway. I have two of them here. The first one I purchased, if you can tell, slightly filthy, has recently been recovered from a tree where it spent about 6 months up in the tree. It's one of the reasons I had to get a second one. I purchased the Bind and Fly because I already had the controller, so this made it a little less expensive to keep flying. What I think is actually one of the probably the best beginner quadcopters you can get. They're inexpensive. It's $50 to $60. You can get the one that comes with a camera. It's just a 720p camera, but it's not bad. It is useful. You can get it without the camera. I mean, the Bind and Fly comes without the camera, but now one of the major reasons I like it is they tend to take a beating. This thing can be slammed into walls, into the ground, and comes out pretty good. Minor cracks in the plastic can be solved with super glue. This one itself, the one that's been up in a tree for, like I said, about 6 months, I had to wait for the leaves to fall before I could retrieve it. It was very high up. It was a very tall tree. But once I did get it back, I was able to do this, which there you can see the lights going. Without anything with it at all, it still flies. I mean, it still flies well too, which I'm very shocked at. But yeah, I didn't have any problems at all. Taking off. I'll turn that one off. Now, I want to give a couple of tips about dealing with a quadcopter. First off, when you do purchase a new one, the first thing you want to do is charge the battery, put the battery in, and turn it on. Bind it. And this is for generally any quadcopter that you're going to get, like the toy grade versions of them. Mostly this is because of the motors in them are brushed motors, so they need a small burn-in time just to help extend the life of the motors. So what you want to do is turn them on, bind it to your controller, and then just give it enough gas just to have the blades moving. Do that for maybe 5 minutes or burn through a whole battery, and then shut it down, charge your battery, and then do some actual flights with it. Also, about charging the batteries themselves, do not charge hot batteries. Give your batteries some time. When you're flying and you're done, you pull the battery out, it's going to be quite warm. You want to take the battery out, let it cool off, then charge it. And also the motors themselves, they get pretty warm too. So if you have multiple batteries, you want to, when you're done flying it once with a battery, let the motors cool down too before you just slap another battery in it and have it flying off also. Now, I did do some modifications to the side move to make it a little more user-friendly. One, it's obvious, I've painted the blades, the front and black blades. The lights on them are colored, orange and green, orange for the front, green for the back. So I've painted the blades that way. Makes it a bit easier to spot up in the sky, keeping your heading, which way is forward and stuff. That does tend to help. Eventually, if it gets hot enough, it's not going to help. It just turns into a black spot in the sky, but that's alright too. The camera itself, when the camera comes in at the angle on the camera is actually pointing very far down. one way you can fix that is the screws. I've had mine screwed in. The prop guards that come with it, the screws will fit in the holes that hold the camera, but they're longer. So I've put them through and left some of the screw exposed so I could move the back end of the camera down, which then moves the front end of the camera up. It doesn't look perfectly straight there, but that's because the camera lens on mine is a little off. So to make the shot level, I had to tilt the camera a little bit. So one screw's a little farther out than the other, but that makes my camera, when the pictures come in, they're level. That helped. That took a little trial and error to get that straight. Flight times with them can be, anywhere 8 to 10 minutes. We get pretty good flight times. Like I said, and they're also very durable. Biggest issue with them, and why this one was lost, is they are very, very light, and the wind will take them quite easily, which is what happened for losing that one. It got up too high, and the wind just took it away off into a hill and up into a tree, where it stayed for quite some time. But beyond that, they're very durable. You get good flight times out of them. The camera that comes with it is decent enough to be used. I can add a sample of that to the end of this. But overall, quite a good quadcopter. I'm pleased with it, and just amazed that this one works without any issues whatsoever after pulling it out of a tree. I'm shocked by that, which just makes me want to recommend it more. So that's it for the Cyma X5C-1. Everybody else has explained the general basic use of it. So, thank you.
This is an example of the video you get using the stock camera that comes with the X5C-1. It's not a bad quality camera. The jello effect tends to get worse the higher winds there are. During this clip, it's mostly pretty calm, so it's not terrible. But overall, not a bad camera. It saves only to the SD card in it. There's no Wi-Fi out or FPV view from it. But not a bad camera.